my favorite movies is Hoodlum, and in that movie there was a scene between Lawrence Fishburne and Andy Garcia where Lawrence Fishburne said, when you don't know, you don't know. That is a reality for many of us when it comes to finance. When you don't know, you don't know. So how do you change that? Well, my next guest has actually been doing that. She's actually been going on the road dealing with the issue of financial wellness, trying to help folks out. She is Marsha Barnes. She renovated an old school bus and created the Finance Bar, which serves as a mobile hub in which she delivers financial counseling to schools, corporations, and community events. She joins us right now. Marsha, how you doing? I can't hear you, so hopefully, guys, let's get the audio straight. Marsha, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
All right, then. So where did you get the idea to convert this bus and take it on the road?
Yeah, sure, Roland. So I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and for many people, you may be aware that Charlotte is like the second largest capital of financial institutions here. But what I identified very quickly is that while we had a lot of banks and financial advisors around town, what we did not have was someone to communicate to our community about the importance of how to handle money. Food trucks are very large here. We have fashion mobile boutiques. So I figured if they could put food on a truck, I can put finances on a bus. And that's exactly what I decided to do.
Well, and the thing is, again, as I said, when you don't know, you don't know. So, I mean, how many people do you encounter when you give this advice, they go, I have no idea what you're talking about?
Yeah, they don't, Roland, because we typically go to work to make money, to pay our bills. But many people don't go to work to save money. And another thing that I also identified quickly, Roland, is that if you ask people how much money do they earn, they can quickly tell you. But many people simply have no idea of how much money it really costs them to live. So that's where the problem resides, is that when we get these jobs, many people make great incomes and they simply don't know how to handle that money. And that's when you run into the paycheck to paycheck mentality.
When you offer this advice and counsel, first of all, how long are the sessions? How long are you talking with people? I guess I'm thinking about when you go to the Apple store or the Genius Bar, you got 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Tiffany's familiar because she never could figure out her iPad, so she's always.
As a man who has 5 devices.
Right, because I know how to use all of them. And so, talk through the process. How does it work?
So typically, Roland, what happens is that either a college will hire me out, or an organization, or it could be, a major corporation to either speak with their employees or their college students. And those sessions could be between 15 to 30 minutes, Roland. But in addition to that, I also do speaking engagements, which are typically longer than that, workshops that are 2 hours to an all-day long workshop. And what the goal is not to just give them, when I have someone on the bus, to give them typical information, Roland. It's to give you an opportunity to ask questions that you have no answers about. So let's say it was you and your problem was your credit. Then what does that conversation look like? Or if it was debt management that you had a problem with, the goal is to always answer their unique questions, not just a workshop to give them information that anyone could use, but how can this really help you? And then you take that information home and apply it.
Joining right now, folks, joining our panel is Karen Maria Alston, founder and CEO of the Spectrum Circle, along with Tiffany Lofton, Eugene Craig, as well as Avis Jones DeWeaver. Karen, you got a question?
First of all, this is an amazing concept. It's wonderful. I'm so happy that you're down in Charlotte doing this. And I just have a quick question, and that is, are people really excited to learn about checking accounts and savings accounts and how they can save money, and showing them the concept of how fast money grows from interest and the rate of return?
They are, Karen, because that's the information that they don't get from many banks. You go to a bank to open an account, it's just we're opening up a checking account, Karen, or a savings account, but how does it benefit me? Most people, you would be amazed when they go to a bank to open these accounts, they don't ask, how much will my account grow from interest? It's just, I need an account. So they are very excited to talk about topics that they have not been exposed to in a different way, in a very non-traditional way, because the bus is very non-traditional.
I love that. The bus is very non-traditional. Marsha, quick question. So because Roland has folks who come on and talk about financial advice all the time. What is the earliest age that folks should be investing in their kids to ask questions about finances? And how early should they start saving? So do you go to elementary schools? Do you go to middle schools? At what part should we start?
In the womb? Go ahead.
Unless their parents don't have money.
Yeah, for real.
And what should they be doing, right?
I actually agree with Roland in the room is to read them little finance books. But in all seriousness, I would say that it definitely should start at elementary level. As soon as you're able to take your kid to the grocery store with you and they start picking up cereal or different things that they want to buy, you can expose them to very simple concepts of how much things cost. And you ask, how do you do that? You could get mason jars, very simple jars, and allow your kids to learn about savings, giving, and then paying things out or doing things that they want to do. So if you give them a $1 allowance or whatever that looks like, you just teach them simple concepts. So if it's savings, you're automatically teaching them about savings accounts. If it's giving, that could be given to charities, paying tithes, whatever that looks like for your family, and then whatever they want in a jar. So you're teaching them that money is not about just to pay your bills. It's also about enjoying life. So I would definitely say start when they are in elementary school. Absolutely.
Well, once again, I want to congratulate you on this wonderful concept. You know, one of the most disturbing statistics I've read is that over 60% of Americans don't even have $500 that they can access in case of an emergency. So in terms of not only providing sort of basic financial advice or information, what type of conversations are you having with people around building wealth so that we can have wealth as a community, not just for having a little something stashed to the side, but having money that we can accumulate, that we can transfer from one generation to the next?
Absolutely. So I look at finances as just like going through grade school. You have elementary school, you have junior high, you have high school, and then you have college. The concept of money is very similar. So it depends on where we're starting at. So if we're talking about building wealth, then that may be when you're in the college level, you're about to graduate, when you very understand how does investing look, when you do have some of those basic concepts under control. You know, many people want to jump into the world of investing because investing sounds a little bit more sexy than paying off debt. Like that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
So teach them that let's talk about stages of how to get you to the area of where you have money left over that you can play with and invest, and also letting them know that investing is a risk. No matter how good it sounds, this is money that you may or may not see again. But also remembering that is if you work, there's 401k, and that's also considered as a way to invest your money. So it all depends on who I'm having the conversation with.
What's your favorite investment vehicle?
I would say How did you know, Roland? But it is that's true for me. You know, for me not knowing when I was younger, now I know that I can build a small business myself, purchase something like my bus, and watch it grow, watch it help my family to grow wealth from simply having an idea to buy a bus. So I never want people to think about investing in traditional ways of only stocks and bonds or things that we heard from our parents or our grandparents talk about. There are tons of ways to be able to build wealth, and it may not look like what you've heard about years ago. And I think that's why it's very important to have different mechanisms like the finance bar to teach you things in a way that will help you to better understand it. But for me, it's definitely my bus.
Where are you headed next?
Next, I actually just came back from off the road, Roland. So next for me will be DC, actually next year. I'll be there in February, not with the bus, but for a speaking engagement.
All right, then. No, where are you next with the bus?
Next with the bus is in Charlotte. I'll be in Charlotte next with the bus, just around town.
Oh, so you'll take it on the road?
I will take it on the road, but it has to be carried on the bus because it's just like a school bus. It only goes 55 miles per hour. So to get to DC, it would take me about 12 hours.
Girl, you better drive that bus somewhere. All right. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Roland.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh, my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.